object hang. Yeah, it's the annotations they had hanged my Eclipse. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now you know what? C1 now points towards C3, and if C1 changes the name, right, the name for C3 will also change. So when you run this, you'll see that Canada prints for C1 and C3. So there is a difference between object and object reference. First of all, this is an object and this is the object reference. Okay. Similarly, in the country class, you can have functions. Functions like public, void, print population, and inside it you can write the name of the country plus has population. Plus is a concatenation operator. The name of the country has population this. Okay, so when you actually go to testcountry.java and hold on, let me comment all of these lines over here for time being. This is multi-line comment slash star and star slash. Okay, when you write over here c1 dot, you get the option print population. So when you run this, it will print India has population of these many people, right? Similarly, c2 dot print population c3 dot print. The point to note over here, the function being called is the same, print population, but each and every object has got a copy of this function. When C1 calls the print population function, the name of C1 is printed. Yeah, tell me. Anybody, somebody was asking a question, right? Okay. When C1 calls it, the name of C1 is printed and India has population of this. You get all that stuff. So when you run this, you get the respective names and the respective populations. Okay. So this is what an object is. It's like virtualizing simple parameters in a class, right? I can create as many objects and have as many parameters as there in the class inside each object. Okay, right? But how are these helpful to us in Selenium? Look, in Selenium, everything is inbuilt. You don't have to do anything. Everything is inbuilt, right? All you need to do is that you need to learn the API, learn the functions and features of Selenium. That's it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel in Selenium. Whosoever made Selenium has configured everything, right? Now we had actually had this reference libraries in which we had the Selenium jars, right? And if we go to the Selenium website and if we click on the Java doc over here, we will get the documentation of Selenium. In the documentation of Selenium, these are all the classes which are there in the Selenium API. If I scroll down, for example, you will see a class known as Firefox Driver. Let's start with this one. Hold on. Yeah, Firefox Driver. This helps you to execute your test cases on Firefox. Okay. All you need to do is that you need to create the object of this class. Fine. I'll create a new class known as Selenium Basics. Okay, make sure you have configured Selenium under reference libraries. And now you write new Firefox Driver. What is Firefox Driver? Firefox Driver is a class inside Selenium API. This is the class. Okay. You'll get an error. Move your mouse over the error and you will get the option to import Firefox Driver. So when you just create the object of this class, okay, and if you run this, you'll see a blank Firefox window opening up automatically. You see that? Right? A blank Firefox window has opened up. But to control this window, if I have to maximize this window, I have to go to a website, I have to click somewhere. You need something different. Okay. For example, I'll write over here Firefox driver d1 equals to this. You need a reference of this Firefox to control it. When you write d1 dot, you get all the features of the Firefox class, non-static features of the Firefox class over here. For example, there is a function known as get http say yahoo.com. When you run this, you see that this browser will open and it will automatically go to Yahoo. Right? So, similarly, you can have other drivers as well. For Firefox, it's Firefox driver. If there are other functions as well, if I want to close the browser, you can write driver.quit and it will close the browser. Driver.get will go to the website. You have to create the object of the corresponding driver if you have to work with that particular browser. Okay, right? So what I mean to tell is that in Selenium everything is inbuilt. Okay, now somebody was asking me a question that how do I import the documentation of Selenium into Eclipse? Okay, so we'll see that now and then we'll proceed further, because again and again I don't want to open up the browser and navigate to Java docs over here in the website. Rather, I can have my own Java docs inside Eclipse. I can import this Java doc into Eclipse. Okay, I can do that. All you need to do is that yeah, hold on, I'll tell you. This is the Java doc link, right? Okay, so what I'm telling you right now is to import this Java documentation, Java doc into Eclipse. Okay, so this is the Java doc link. You right click over here and select the option copy link location. Go to your Eclipse. Fine. Go to the properties of the project. Right, and these will be the various jars available under the Java build path libraries tab. Fine. In this you will have something known as Selenium Java 2.35.jar. Okay, fine. You expand this and you will have the option Java doc location over here. You double click on this Java doc location and paste the path which you had copied. Fine, and remove index.html. Now this is the important thing which most of the people don't do. Please remove index.html from the end. Alright, remove it, click on OK, that's it. Now suppose you move your mouse over Firefox driver, you will get a small window explaining you what Firefox driver does. Or when you write driver dot, you get lot of functions. When you click on each and every function, you get a documentation what each and every function is supposed to do. Okay, for example, this get function, if you read this documentation of get function, it loads a new web page in the current browser window. So it gives you the complete documentation, which is very helpful, right? And inside the documentation, if you click on any link, fine, you will see that the Java docs actually end up opening in Eclipse. You can select the frame view from the top and you will have the Java docs opening inside Eclipse. So this is very handy, because at times when you are stuck, you don't know what to do, you don't know which class to use, which function to use. Instead of opening the browser and going to the documentation again and again, you can simply use Eclipse and refer the documentation. Okay, fine. Now anyways, where were we? We were talking about Firefox driver. I just created the object, opened Firefox, took it to yahoo.com, and with d1.quit I closed the Firefox window. Okay, similarly for other browsers, like for Chrome, there is Chrome driver class. Okay, if you want to work with it, hold on, I'll comment out these three lines and I'll write over here Chrome driver d2 import Chrome driver. Fine. So you created the object of Chrome driver, and when you run this, you know what, most of you will get this error, illegal state exception. Fine. Look, when you get this error, there's no need to get panicky. Okay, many times I've seen people, they panic when they see the error and they don't know even what to do. If I get this error, what do? I copy the first line. Fine, I go to Google, just a minute, I go to Google, and on Google I simply paste this error. You get the solution. Okay, so you can click on any line, you'll get the solution. Look, you don't need to get afraid of errors when they come up. Look, Google is there. Even I learned everything from Google, right? So now the thing is, in case of Firefox driver, you just cannot directly create the object. You need to download some exe files from Selenium website. You have to go to seleniumhq.org, and on seleniumhq.org, under the download section, you will have third party browsers not developed by Selenium HQ over here. Okay, and this is the browser driver for Chrome. You can visit the download page link over here, and it says that see this link for downloads. Hold on, just a minute. This is the link actually where they have moved this. 2.4, the latest version. Yeah, so you download the chrome driver.zip from this location, right, depending on your operating system. Okay, and when you download it, like I have downloaded and extracted it in my G drive, you will have this chrome driver.exe file. Okay, right, you'll have this chrome driver.exe file. Don't run this, this will be of no use to you. All you need to do is that you need to set a system property. Okay, you need to write over here system dot set property. Yes, yeah, yeah, you talking about this file, the installed browser. So are you getting this error in both Mozilla as well as Chrome? Because I also have a 32, I have a 64-bit machine and I don't get it. Um, okay, let me check this out today. I can get to you tomorrow on this because I also have a 64-bit machine. I know a code wherein you can tell Selenium where exe file of your browser is lying. Okay, I'll find it and I'll give it to you tomorrow. Okay, yeah, thank you. So this is the Chrome driver.exe file. Fine. All you need to do is that you need to write system.set property. You have to set a system property webdriver.chrome.driver, and you need to give the path of your Chrome driver.exe, that is G drive. Inside G drive in Java you have to give / escape sequence. Fine. G drive Chrome driver.exe, and you write over here d2.get to the URL http say facebook.com. Fine. Now another thing which people make a mistake, they don't mention the protocol. If I just write like this, Selenium will never take you to the site, it will throw you an error. Okay, so you have to give the protocol out here, that is http facebook.com. http, https, whatever is the protocol, please give it. When you run this code, you'll see that the browser opens up and it takes you to the website. Fine. So to work with Chrome driver, you have to have Chrome driver.exe in the system path. Now let me cover this system.set property in detail. What is this? System is a class, set property is a function inside it. I am not creating the object of this class to access it. For example, earlier country was a class and print population was a function. To call this function, I had to create the object of the class country.java and then I could call it. Fine. But there can be members in the class which are static. For example, static, say planet. Fine. Now static is something which becomes common for all the objects. We had seen that we can make different objects. Each object will have a reference and each object will have some properties. If we make a particular property static, then that particular property will start residing somewhere in the memory which is common for all the objects. So static is not the part of the object. Static is something which is common for all the objects. Okay, and to access static, you can directly write the class name country dot planet equals to earth. So all the countries will have the property planet equated to earth, right? So because planet is a static property can be accessed without creating the object of the class, and that's what we have done over here. System is an internal class and set property is a static function inside it. Public static string set property. Okay, so we are accessing it with the class name dot the property name. Similarly, for example, if I take Chrome driver class, if I write Chrome driver dot, there is no static property in the Chrome driver class. But if I take Firefox driver class dot, you will see that there are some static fields inside the Firefox driver class. I can access them directly with the class name without creating the object. But if I have to access a function like get, wherein I go to a particular URL or something, right, then you will have to create the object of the class and work towards it. Alright, so this is what static and non-static is. Fine. For example, this is non-static variable, this is static variable in the end. Static can be accessed directly with the class, non-static can be accessed only by creating the object of the class. Okay, right? Now coming over to Selenium basics again. In case of Chrome driver, you need to write system class.setProperty, which is a static function, webdriver.chrome.driver, and you need to give the path of chromedriver.exe. Alright, then you have to create the object of the class Chrome driver and do whatever you want. But in the end, don't forget to close the Chrome driver with code. Otherwise, what will happen is that in the system idle processes, you will find that Chrome driver.exe will keep on running up and it will occupy your memory. Okay, so always make sure that you use the command d2 driver dot quit in the end. This will end the Chrome driver.exe session. Close the browser as well. Plus, it will completely end the task of Chrome driver.exe. It will not be running behind the scenes. Okay, fine. So this is how you can manage Chrome. And now we come over to IE. IE is little tricky. Depending on the operating system, depending on the 32-bit, 64-bit, lot of things are there. Depending on the version of IE as well. Okay, so there are various permutations and combinations which you have to do with IE and then make it start working. Right. First of all, in case of IE, we have a class. Hold on. In case of IE, hold on. Yeah, we have a class Internet Explorer Driver. Okay, all you need to do is that first of all, you need to create the object of this class. Internet Explorer Driver D3 equals to new Internet Explorer Driver. Import it. Fine. If you run this, you will get a similar error which you had got in case of Chrome. Fine. For IE as well, there is a exe file which you have to download. Hold on, I'll give you. You see that on the download section of seleniumhq.org, you will see the Internet Explorer Driver server option over here. Over here you will have download the version for iDriver.exe depending on 32-bit Windows IE, 64-bit Windows IE, whatever it is. You can select on it and you can click on the zip file, download and extract it. Fine. In my PC it's in G drive, iDriverServer.exe. Fine. So you need to write over here system.setProperty webdriver.i.driver to the path of that exe, that is G drive in my PC, iDriverServer.exe. Okay, make sure webdriver.i.driver is in the lower case. Sometimes what people do, they keep this I capital or something. Look, Java is a case sensitive language. Please be very careful. Whatever you give in double quotes is very sensitive, right? You have to put it in the case sensitive manner. Fine. Now, if I run this on my machine and if I write over here d3.get to the URL, say again facebook.com, and if you run this on my machine, it opens up IE and you go to facebook.com. It is successful. Fine. But in many of your machines, like if you guys are using your machines, you will get error relating to the protected mode of IE. Look, I am using Windows XP over here. But these days people have Windows 7, Windows 8. So in those systems and the i9, i8, you have got something known as protected mode settings, which you have to bring for at the same level. Hold on, I'll tell you. If you go to Google and you just type over here I protected mode settings, and hold on, I'll tell you. Yeah, you see this is the screen which many of you will have when you go to Internet Explorer options security tab. Fine, you have got four levels over here: internet, local internet, trusted sites and restricted sites. Alright, now what you need to do is that I'll tell you, just a minute. When you go to Internet Explorer settings, yeah, just 1 minute. Just a minute. Yeah, you have got this scroll bar. This particular scroll bar, this one, is there for each and every of these four options. Make sure the level of the scroll bar is same for all these four options. I actually bring it down to the lowest level for all of them. If you are not able to bring it down to the lowest level for all of them, make sure that in the security tab the level of this index is at the same level for all these four options. Okay, then it will work on IE. So it's a bit cumbersome task, but you have to do it. Okay, and similarly, you know what, if you're working with IE, then behind the scenes iDriver server.exe keeps on running even after you have manually closed the browser or something. So always make sure, if you have to close the browser, if you have to make sure to quit in the end, d3.quit. So these are the three major drivers. Okay, apart from these there are other drivers as well. For example, there is something known as HTML unit driver. Hold on, called say h equals to new HTML unit driver. Then you write h dot get to the website http gmail.com or something, right? Now what is HTML unit driver? HTML unit driver is not something like it tests behind the scenes. It tests based on the source code. There will be no browser which you will see opening up. It sends the request to the website, gets the plain page source, tests on it, then again sends the request. Because of which this driver is very fast. It executes very fast. It never opens any browser. If you run this, you'll see no browser opening up, but actually the request and response to the server will go and it will come back. Fine. So you'll see that these info logs and all will get printed. Where is this kind of driver used? Well, it's used in the headless mode. For example, you are on a Unix box. On a Unix box, you don't have anything, but only you have got a shell like this, like we have command prompt, and you need to execute the Selenium code over there. Now you don't have Mozilla over there, you don't have Chrome, you don't have IE, so over there we use HTML unit driver. Okay, it can run in we call it as headless mode. Fine. Or there is another driver known as event firing driver. Yeah, event firing web driver. Now I'll just briefly tell you about it. Later on we'll do it in detail. This driver can emulate complex keyboard and mouse gestures. gestures related to to the UI. For example, you have to simulate moving the mouse or simulate typing a key or something. Then this event firing WebDriver helps us. Similarly, there are drivers for mobiles as well. For example, Android driver is there, right? Then iPhone driver is there. Okay. Now, don't expect that these drivers will test your Android or iPhone applications. No. Selenium is a web automation testing tool. These drivers will test how your website is opening on Android phone or iPhone. If you look at my website, qtpselenium.com, then lately, if you some of you have subscribed to the videos, if you want to watch the videos on Android, the last training video testing with Android driver for 2 hours, I have uploaded it. It's very useful. You change the user agent of the browser and all, you do it, so you can have a look at it. Fine. I Somebody was asking me the question about it. That's why I was telling you. Now out here, coming back to the code. So these are the other drivers, right? There are some other drivers as well. I'll talk about them, but primarily we start with Firefox, Chrome, and IE. 90% of the guys, they have got work on these three particular browsers. Now lately there has been an addition known as Safari driver, which has been added to test on Safari browser. This is a little unstable. This is still unstable. For example, managing pop-ups, managing tabs, managing multiple windows, it never works on Safari driver. Then there are some other things like alert management, frame management and all. All that stuff is not working on it. So it's partially stable. It's not fully stable. Alright, fine. So any questions from anybody till now? Please feel free to ask questions. I know you guys will be having a lot of doubts in your mind. Hello? Yeah, your voice is very low. You want to ask something on HTML unit driver, but your voice is very low. No. Look, practically understand, right, how web application works. Suppose you open up Firefox. You type google.com into it. The request goes. Google.com server sends back the response. The Firefox browser reads this response, presents you in form of Firefox browser in a very fancy way. Okay, but HTML unit driver never actually works with the browser. It's not related to any browser. What it does, it sends the request to the server. In the response, it will get something like the page source of the application. Okay, it works completely on the page source and sends back the response as well. Right? Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. No, no, that is not possible. Screenshot is only possible in case of Firefox, Chrome or IE, not in HTML unit driver. There is no user interface, right? First of all, look, if your application is very stable, okay, you have tested it, you in regression testing, you have tested it many times. Even when you run it on Firefox, Chrome and IE, and it's running very smoothly, and you need to complete your tests very quickly. Okay, you have limited time with you. You can use HTML unit driver. It is far faster than anyone. Secondly, if you are on a Unix based machine where there is no user interface, I am working on Windows over here. I can see the Firefox and Chrome and I installed in my machine. But if you want to test your script in Unix based shell, in shell there is no browser. Right, as I told you, you can use HTML unit driver in that case and run it in the headless mode. You got my point? Okay. Yeah, thank you. So this is utilized in that way. So any other question from anybody? Yeah. Look, you cannot test apps. If I have got a game in my mobile, I cannot test my game with Android or iPhone driver. Okay, you have to use a tool like Robotium or something. I forgot the name. Oh, hold on, I'll give you the name. I'll give you the name. Just 1 minute. Hold on. For mobile, you have got Calabash. You have got Robotium tools. Okay, you can use tools like that. Okay, so don't use Selenium. That's the only way. Selenium is only for browser based. It's not for application or desktop testing. Okay? Yeah. Anybody else with any question regarding the course, regarding Selenium, anything? Yeah, Omkar. Yes. Look, Selenium, all the automation tools, they are used for UI testing, basically functional testing. Alright. And that even on stable applications, you don't functionally test using automation tools, using when the application is being built, you test a stable application, you test the UI, you test the functionality. You can use Selenium for that. Okay, thank you. Right. Yeah, Shiva. I cannot hear you. Your voice is very, very low. No, not right now. I don't have it with me right now. Okay. Yeah, fine. How long will the course? Okay, fine. Another question being asked is how long will the course last? Look, it will last somewhere between 5 to 6 weeks, depending on our speed, right? And along with the course, as I told you, I'll be giving you the recorded videos of the 43 modules which I have on the website. Fine. Every day, Saturday, Sunday, we'll have the course somewhere between 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours class will be there every Saturday, every Sunday on the weekend. Fine. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, the way I'm teaching Java right now and taking up Selenium, the same way I'm going to go. I'll not take Java first and then take Selenium. I'll take it parallelly. Look, those are pre-recorded sessions. Okay. If I go this way, then I'll not be able to cover the course in next 10 weeks as well. The training videos, they are very elaborate. I have made them with freehand. Okay. I had no limitation in it. Right. For example, the training video for the framework over here is for 8 hour 20 minutes. Fine. So I made it with a very, very freehand. But in the course, I tend to go little faster because everybody has got limited time. Nobody can spare 10 to 12 weekends. Yeah. Mm. Yes, those of you who have the access, I would request you to at least watch training video 1, 2, 3, and 11 and 12 before tomorrow's class. These 5 videos. Okay. I think yesterday some of three guys registered. Everybody got the username password, I guess. If you have not got, then let me know. Yeah, Malini, you were trying to ask something. That depends on you. I am not sure about your background, but people who are not at all comfortable with programming, who have never done programming, what I recommend them is that instead of coming for the class directly, though they can buy the videos, get the access to the videos, learn from them, fine, put in some time, and then join the training by paying the remaining fee. That is whatever is the difference between the online training cost and the video cost. You pay that and join. So that also helps a lot. Okay. Look, don't go for a separate Java training. In the pre-recorded sessions, Java is already there. It is more than enough for Selenium. The first 7 modules are only on Java. Yeah, Mohammed is asking a question. We use Java to edit Eclipse. Where does Selenium comes into picture? Okay, there's a lot of confusion for Mohammed. Mohammed, this is Eclipse, right? Inside Eclipse, we write Java code. Okay, not even we. The developers also write Java code. When developers write the Java code, they build websites or they build some products. Fine. We are writing Selenium Java code. This all is Selenium. Whatever I highlighted over here is Selenium. Mohammed, I would recommend you to go through the pre-recorded sessions first before coming to the class, because I think you don't have a very good background with programming. So I would recommend you to go with the pre-recorded videos first and then come to the class. That will help you. The rest is your choice. Yeah. 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 I know that. Yes. No. No, you cannot do that. If you add them over there, right, then you can introduce Selenium inside RFT. Okay, but how will you make a bridge between the RFT code and Selenium code? That will be the challenge for you. You will confuse it. You will rather only use one tool. Don't mix both of them. That would be my suggestion. What is the purpose for mixing both the tools? No, no, you cannot. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, because Selenium has got its own controls. RFT has got its own controls. Fine. So just use only one tool. Just use Selenium or RFT. Don't merge them. You will have a lot of problems in some controls, especially Ajax or something like that. JavaScript controls. You'll have problems. Okay. Thank you. I'll talk about object identification tomorrow in the class. I'll tell you. Okay. For example, out here I had made drivers. Right, I made Chrome driver, IE driver, Firefox driver. Now each of the driver over here, will it have its own set of functions? If I have to click on a link in Firefox, if I have to click in IE, if I have to click in Chrome, will the process be different, because all these are different classes? So that's what I'm going to talk tomorrow, object identification and all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yes. Yes, you will come to know. Okay, just be with me. You will understand everything I'll tell you. Okay, and right, fine, then I'll end up the session. You will get the recorded videos on your email ID. Yeah, yeah. I have uploaded them, right? When you finish with the 15th or 16th module, okay? And when you log in into your account, somewhere over here in your account, in this location, there is a link for practice exercises. Okay, okay, just have a look at them. Fine. On the No, not at the end of the session. In the first few modules, they are at the end of the session. But if you look at the training video 11, 12, 13, 14, you will not find any practice exercise at the end. Fine. But once you have finished with the 16th or 17th module, okay, look at the top left side of the screen. You will see practice exercises. Do them. Okay. Yeah. Alright. I've put them collaboratively for WebDriver. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, then fine. We will see you tomorrow. You will be getting a new link for the training tomorrow. Okay, and you will get the recorded video in your email. Yeah, and one more thing. Yeah, how do I join the course? Okay, another question is how do I join the course? If you are interested to join the course, you can go to my site qtpselenium.com and you will see a contact trainer link over here on the top. Fine, you click on this contact trainer link and fill out the form and all everything and submit your query. Mention correct email ID, phone number, right? And that's it. This is how you can tell me that you want to join the course, right? Those of you who had registered last week and yesterday and had paid the fee, I guess you got the username and password. If anybody has not got it, then please let me know. Fine. Okay. So, alright then. Yeah. Thank you everybody. We'll meet tomorrow again and I'll continue with object identification. Thank you.